Blonde and the Geek podcast. We're on our way to procure some libations for the podcast. Got our handy growler.
I'm just here for the drinking.
We'll be talking to you soon. Okay, we're arriving at Magnolia Brew Pub up here on 8th and Masonic. And the beer has been obtained. Yes. Welcome to A Blonde and a Geek, your weekly podcast of all things blonde and geeky. I am the geek half of that equation, although today we have three halves.
That makes a whole and a half.
Yeah. So my name's Christian D, and to my left here is the lovely Cameron.
Hi, Cameron Lee. And to my left is our friend Dale, who has traveled halfway across the country to come and be with us today. Welcome, Dale.
Thank you.
Dale and I are old friends from high school, and we try and stay in touch as much as possible.
Friends a very, very long time.
Yep.
So glad to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Today we're taking a page out of Dignation. We have our beers in front of us here, and this is the Cole Porter beer today.
From the Magnolia Brewery, right up the street.
I think I'm
Magnolia
gonna
Pub and Brewery.
refresh Cameron's.
Yes, please. I tend to do that here. So if we make less sense than usual, now you know why. It's a nice, dark, nutty beer. Perfect for us. And if you hear a little bit of background noise, we also have another guest with us today, who is soon to be 4 years old. And he's playing nicely, hopefully, in his room. So you may hear a little bit of that. So
He might join us.
And he might join us in a few minutes. Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to A Blonde and a Geek.
Thank you.
Oh, that's dark beer.
That's lovely. Okay.
So last night we went and saw Borat, the glorious Kazakhstani film.
Glorious.
It's I guess all of our coworkers are talking about it. I know
Everyone's
mine
talking
are.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very popular subject of conversation these days.
Yes.
Kind of felt like we'd be left out if we didn't see it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a fan of Sacha Baron Cohen. I've seen his Ali G show a few times, and the Borat segment. Never my favorite segment, but I think I just like the Ali G stuff better.
Do you?
Yeah, but maybe that's just me.
I haven't seen that much of it. I think he's funny, but I wasn't fully prepared for that much Borat.
Yeah, my expectation going into it was virtually zero because I haven't seen hardly any Ali G, but I was pleasantly surprised myself.
You were laughing.
Yeah.
We were all laughing.
There's a few scenes in this one where you laugh so hard it hurts. And,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's happened to me since like the South Park movie.
Yeah.
Although I didn't see Team America World Police. Did you see that one?
I did,
Yeah.
and I almost wanted to leave at certain points in the movie just because I couldn't breathe.
Borat?
Yeah.
You need a little break?
Yeah.
There was one part where I almost spit out my beverage.
Yeah.
And
give that away
so
a bit.
as the female in the room, it wasn't too raunchy or too...
There were a few times where I was pretty appalled, but I wouldn't have missed it still. I mean, I'm glad that I went. I think that so many people talking about it made me want to see it. Usually it's kind of the other way around for me, but I was afraid of missing something, and I just... Yeah, I was appalled at a few scenes. I was appalled at other people's behavior, not necessarily his, and in some cases, ignore that. It's fine. It's fine. But some of it was just hysterical. It was just absolutely hysterical. And there were some things that I wouldn't do for a ton of money that he just did, and you had to appreciate him for just going that far for a laugh.
A long way for a joke. Yeah.
I'm glad I saw that.
Yeah. A little bit more about the movie on the kind of the social commentary side of it is that Borat is really this guy who kind of lets people make fun of themselves, and by putting comments out there that kind of offend their sensibilities,
or agree with their
sensibilities to the point where they feel free to express themselves in their complete view of the world. So it's
makes you cry.
Yeah,
makes you cry.
It says a lot about, I think, it kind of asks of the audience what their kind of take on the world is as well, because if you're one of the people that he's making fun of, if you can't laugh at yourself, then well, you're not going to like the movie very much.
Yeah, that's true.
I was surprised at how much narrative there was in the film. I thought, you watch the Ali G show and it's like, Borat sits down with this politician, or Ali G goes and meets with, that, political group or something. And this one, there's a whole story blending it together. I was kind of expecting it to be more of just a whole random mishmash, like the show is, whereas this had the whole arc, and he's on a quest to find his beautiful Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, don't give up too much.
Oh, I don't want to give away the spoiler,
I think they'll get over it.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So yeah, we've had some news about the show, the movie recently, like lawsuits coming out of all over the place.
I don't think any of those are gonna fly.
Yeah.
I really don't.
From what I heard, I heard that they signed a huge long release form. Everybody, and of course they didn't know it was going to be a big Fox movie nationwide release, but they did sign the form. So it's kind of like,
they didn't read it.
If you didn't read it, then
too bad.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Okay, very good. So
I would see it again.
You'd see it again?
Yeah, I'd watch it again.
Oh my God, no! Once is enough for me. I would see it once if I hadn't seen it yet.
And it goes by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick.
It's not a very long movie. Doesn't wear on you. It moves along.
Yeah, I mean it's a story, that he's telling about his epic journey across the country, and it really the group it makes most fun of is Middle America, kind of. So, if you're
all those
sensitive,
red states.
if you're sensitive about the red states, then maybe you'll want to skip this one. But yeah.
It's the #1 movie in America, I heard.
Yeah.
At least 1 or maybe 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, and I think the real power that it has is word of mouth. It's one of those things that people see it. They may not enjoy every moment of it, but it's got that appeal for outrageous factor, and so that's what makes people talk, and consequently makes people go see the movie. They've got to see it with their own eyes.
Yeah.
Oh. And how about we were talking about the trailers that we saw before Borat?
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
The first trailer.
The first trailer.
Apocalypto.
The first trailer, yeah, Mel Gibson's
Why?
take on a super villain name, Apocalypto.
Right.
You see the Apocalypto trailer in front of every movie. It did not belong there, and I don't understand why it's there. And yeah, the more I see the Apocalypto trailer, the less I want to see the movie. Not that I really wanted to see it when I first heard
you
about
hadn't
it.
seen it much before, right? Was
I
that
had
the
never
first
seen
time?
the Apocalypto trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
it just didn't belong there.
it doesn't belong in the front of the Borat movie, but as much as I kind of have a disdain for Mel Gibson at this point, I think I'm going to suck it up and go see it.
You know what's funny about that, though, is like they had an original Apocalypto trailer, and at the end it says Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. After his run-in with the Malibu police, they have a new cut of the trailer, right? Now it says Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. It's huge now. It's like, wouldn't you think that you'd want to tone it down a little?
Hide my name. Put it at the very end, like a little flash of
like directed by Mel Gibson.
But
But no, he's proud. He says it was a mistake. Okay, maybe it was a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see it anyway. I don't know. I'm just surprised at how that was there. And we go to a lot of movies, so we see that trailer all the time. I still don't know when it's coming out, but it's just pervasive.
Okay.
The Tenacious D trailer wasn't as good as I hoped. That's the first time I've seen that other Tenacious D trailer. And
I'm still gonna see that one though. The Pick of Destiny.
Yeah, I don't know. Not a Tenacious D fan here, so.
I love Jack Black.
He just tries too hard for me, so.
Oh, I think he's great.
Although the movie that he did where he was a wrestler.
Nacho Libre.
I was caught on a plane watching that, so I had to watch the whole thing. And it was okay.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it, yeah.
Had you seen
School of Rock?
School of Rock was
That was
awesome.
good.
Didn't see it.
I
Man.
think you'd like that one.
One of the best movies that year, I think. Surprisingly, like,
Wow.
just for like a little comedy with just Jack Black and some kids, and yet it all came together, and like the sum of the parts was greater. The whole was greater than the sum. Like the whole
Have
was
some
greater.
more beer.
You're talking like a politician now, man.
And no, it was a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie.
Okay.
Easily top 10 movie.
Well, I think we're done with Borat. I actually wanted to kind of plug something while I was here. I just recently moved to Minnesota about a year and 4 months ago.
Sorry.
From San Francisco. I used to live here. But there's this really great radio station that I listen to constantly. It's Minnesota Public Radio, and it's called The Current. And if you want to go to their website, it's npr.org. That's an M, like McDonald's. I'm
Which there are a lot of in Minnesota.
I'm not plugging McDonald's, however.
No, don't do that.
But it's a lot of local Minnesota bands as well as other bands that are kind of catching fire across.
So it's mostly music?
It's all music.
Oh, it's all
okay.
music.
It's commercial.
Oh, okay.
It's commercial free music as well, and the DJs are pretty cool. They don't do a lot of talking all the time, so that's always a bonus for me.
Oh, look at that! Freddie Mercury and Borat separated at birth. What?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
his teeth aren't quite as bad.
Yeah. And there are actually people that live here in San Francisco that listen to this station through the internet, and they actually support it through sponsorship and funding because they love the station so much, and I love the station, so I'm putting my plug in there.
I better
I'll stream it.
try that out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's some really great local bands in Minneapolis. It's really a kind of a little mini mecca of music. So
Nice. NPR.org. Easy to remember.
Yeah.
NPR.org. Very good.
And that is totally cool. Yeah.
That is cool.
Nice website.
Yeah, it's nice.
And I want to get a little techie for a minute here, and I want to talk about mice. I'm a sort of a connoisseur of mice, having done a lot of graphic design work and a lot of computer game stuff where precision mouse work is important. I've found that many mice are just not up to the task, and technology's been changing. So I was gonna do a little walk down memory lane and talk about.
How many you got down there?
Well, I've got some mice. We have the classic Microsoft IntelliMouse, the original bald mouse. Bald as in has a little mouse ball. And these mouse balls pick up a lot of grit and dirt, and that grit and dirt gets on the little rollers inside. I don't know how many of these I've cleaned in my lifetime. I used to work at a copy shop.
dirty fingernails. Scraping those little rollers
Yeah.
off.
I've had
Little fuzzy Q-tips in there.
I spent every day cleaning half a dozen of these little suckers.
Yeah.
And if you didn't clean them, you'd move the mouse around and you could feel the grit in your fingertips.
And the result would that be your cursor on the screen would just kind of either jump or not move, or
and your rocket wouldn't hit the guy you're trying to frag.
Yeah, exactly. And my biggest problem with that was that I would clean the mouse ball, and then somebody would ask me a question, and then I would go and try to help them, and then I would rub my eye or something and go, wow,
ooh, that's
what
pretty gross.
diseases did I just pick up?
That is pretty gross. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
So then, flash forward a few years, and we have this behemoth of a gray object, this Microsoft IntelliMouse Explorer, and this was the first mass market optical mouse, and it's got the little optical sensor down here, and this promised to free us from the dirt, right? The grunge that we would get, And the technology here, it's got a little LED that's shining light at the surface that you're mousing on, and a little sensor, a little camera that takes a few thousand pictures every second, tiny little grayscale pictures. But the problem was the skipping, the random movement of the mouse cursor would still happen sometimes based on the surface that you were on.
Yep.
Like if the surface was too smooth, the camera would have a hard time picking up the detail, and it couldn't tell the difference between one picture and the next, and so your mouse would skip around a bit.
Or if you've got a glossy surface.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reflective surfaces do not work.
Right.
And that brings me to this beauty. This is the Logitech G7
the precious
laser mouse. Now,
Looks like it belongs in Star Trek.
it is very, very nice. Yeah, it's set to kill at the moment, so everyone be careful. No, the G7, the G is for gaming, so this is sort of targeted towards gamers, but don't feel like if you don't play any video games, you wouldn't like this mouse. I think it's
Who doesn't play games?
probably the best mouse I've ever owned. If you look here, it has a little sensor very much like the LED sensor, except it doesn't glow red. It never glows. You don't see it.
How do you know it's working?
Well, if you look real close, you can see that. But
Take it apart. Yeah.
the reason this is better, the reason the laser is better, is that laser light is coherent light. It's very clean, focused light. All the waves of the photons are all moving in the same direction. They're all exactly the same wavelength. And what that does is when it shines on a surface, it's able to bounce off a much cleaner, purer image of the surface that it's on. So what we've moved into is an era when you can have a mouse now where you don't have to worry about the surface that it's on. You don't have to worry about putting down a mouse pad for your optical mouse, or else it'll skip around. With this, you can literally mouse around on any surface, and I'm mousing around over on my computer on the other. See that? Moving stuff around.
Oh my god! Even through the beer.
Yeah, yeah. on a relatively, this is laminated wood here, so it's a very smooth surface, and most mice would not pick up well on this surface. But
you think you can frag somebody from here?
Yeah, if I was logged in.
And the great thing about this mouse is that you can also use the laser on it to take out land-air missiles.
It's a very low-powered
Good to
laser.
know, just in case.
Very low-powered laser. It is wireless. It uses RF, not Bluetooth. Bluetooth apparently has a bit of an overhead, network-wise. So if you were to go and see somebody moving it across your line of vision and need to snipe them, if you were to reach for your mouse, there might be a millisecond delay, and then of course you're dead.
You're dead.
So at that point. So you need that quickness, and so the Logitech's proprietary radio frequency that they use here is faster than the Bluetooth connection.
Yeah.
And it works from like 30 feet away.
It makes me confused at times, though. I think it interferes with the metal plate in my head.
You can hear the ringing.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wet myself.
Damn it! I gotta clean these carpets. Sorry.
And the final thing about this one that's kind of cool is that, again, contrasting with previous mice, this Microsoft IntelliMouse Explorer is actually really, really light. It's a little too flimsy, and this mouse has a bit of a heft to it. It actually positions the battery right in the center of the mouse, so that there's a little bit of inertia here, which is good for precision work, whether you're using your Bezier curves in Illustrator, or you're doing some Photoshop touch-up, or you're sniping in Counter-Strike or whatever. And it has a pop-out battery.
Wow.
And it comes with two. So, and that's so that
change them real quick.
yeah, you can literally have a new battery in there. It's charging in the little base station. Have your new battery in there in 10 seconds. You get your little alert that it's going low. Flip it out,
Which it does.
pop it back in.
It does pretty quickly, I think. I don't know. Maybe we're just
That's
on the
about
computer
2 days,
a lot.
I'd
Is it about
say.
2 days?
2 days, yeah.
Seems like I'm changing it all the time.
So laser mice, you can get an optical mouse right now for like $5 anywhere, like dirt cheap. But laser mice, there's a G5 that's got a wire. G7 is wireless. The brand new Logitech Revolution wireless. That one's about $100. This one's more like 60 these days, I think. You can get the lower end ones for about 40. Apple makes one. Microsoft makes one.
I remember paying $60 for my rollerball Logitech mouse, 3-button mouse, back in the day. That was my ultimate, Quake 2 weapon of choice. So
yes.
For me, this is totally worth it. I love the laser mice. I don't want to go back to normal optical mice. I love having the freedom of the wireless to just, even on your desk, even if you're only on your desk, not having that little cord kind of tugging at the mouse as you're moving it around is just cool. You get used to it. You get used to the freedom, and it's nice. Yeah. And cool. Logitech laser mice.
And that is not a paid endorsement. Wish it was. Feel free to send us some money, Logitech, if anybody's watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Logitech, we love your mice.
Yes, we do, and we love you.
Well, I think that's all I have to talk about.
And you?
Thanks for joining us on The Blonde and a Geek.
Thank you.
I'm the geek.
Which I guess makes me the blonde.
My name's Christian D.
I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Dale W.
And we'll see you next week.
Good night.